Good evening once again. This is to let all of you know that live stream has now begun.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for your time. Like Ms. Lyle said, my name is Dr. Marvia Jones. I am on the board of directors and I represent Sub-District 4. I am also a parent of 2 children, both at Holiday Montessori Elementary. So thank you for taking your time out of your busy schedules to log in today as usual. All the other times you engage, we really appreciate that. We appreciate the District Advisory Council because it is such an integral piece of our understanding of how our stakeholders feel about what we're doing and what we're thinking about doing. I don't have a whole lot that I'd like to present. I want to keep your agenda moving, but I will share with you just as a parent, as I said, of 2 kids in the KCPS, a longtime KCPS parent. I can't stress to you how important it is for you to participate in the Blueprint 2030 conversation. I think about what it means for my children and all the children at their school. And we think about the types of things that our students across the district have access to. We think about, are they having access to field trips? I don't know where all of you grew up, but I grew up going to field trips regularly, from kindergarten throughout, elementary and middle school and into high school. And we want that to be available for our children as well here in the KCPS district. We also want our youth to be able to participate in extracurricular activities. So not just sports or band, but debate clubs at every school and language clubs. We used to have a Spanish club when I was growing up and all these different things. And so what this process means to me is that now we have an opportunity to really influence and impact the experience that our children will have over the next several years. This is not necessarily an easy process. And some of you are probably tired of us talking about it. And you just, why do we have to keep talking about it? But I really hope that you continue to just walk with us in this process, continue to provide your feedback, and encourage the people around you to take the survey, participate in the focus groups when you're requested to do so, and to really just sit down with us in this and weigh the possibilities that we could have for our students. I'm excited by that. I hate the idea of thinking about restrictions or constrictions or contracting in the system at all. I hate thinking about it that way, but what we're really talking about is thinking about how to make the experience that children and their families can get in the Kansas City Public School District even better than what it is now. So I'll get off of my soapbox. I know that Ms. Wachel has a discussion about this later on in the agenda, but just thank you for those of you who've already weighed in. Continue to please send us as the board your emails, your concerns about the process or things you want to see in the process or things that would make you feel more involved. We do want to hear from you. My email address is mjones, M as in Mary, JONES at kcpublicschools.org. Let me know, do you feel like your voice was heard? Were the right questions answered? Or what do you feel like you have not been asked? And you can, definitely give those thoughts to the administration as well. So thank you for participating. Thank you for your continued commitment to our students and their families. And that's all I have.
All right. Thank you so much for that introduction. Hello, everyone. My name is Marquise Hall, and I am the manager of Student Diversity and Inclusion Programs. And today we're going to talk a little bit about the mentoring initiative and how we have implemented it here in KCPS. The assistant superintendent for our department is Dr. Davis for Equity, Inclusion, and Innovation. And the person that I also work with is Maddie Cersei, and she is our mentoring program coordinator. Before we begin, we always like to talk a little bit about the superintendent's vision for mentoring. There are three key parts to his vision, and one of them begins with relationships. We know that no significant learning can occur without a significant relationship. And relationships are the groundwork for mentoring. We know that relationships are key to getting this process moving. The next thing that Dr. Bedell wants us to understand is that schools cannot do this alone. Oftentimes when Dr. Bedell is out, he's speaking and he's trying to engage the community. He lets everybody know that it takes the community to help us figure out what we need to do. It takes the community to help us figure out what we need to do. And so by this, we leverage our community partners and volunteers to help us with our mentoring initiative. And then the last thing on the slide talks about the strategic plan alignment, and I will go more in depth about that one on the next slide. This slide talks about the roadmap for student success. And in fact, we are aligned to our strategic plan in both Pillar A and Pillar B. Pillar A, where it talks about student-centered caring relationships, is definitely aligned to mentoring, but I really want to hone in on Pillar B, numbers 4, 5, and 6. Mentoring can be used as a safety net to help catch students who may potentially fall through the cracks. And then number 5, family and community engagement. Mentoring, any child that's in our mentoring program has to have a permission slip signed by a parent or guardian. So families are on board and they are knowledgeable about what is taking place during the mentoring sessions and what this program is all about. And then lastly, number 6, community partnerships. Again, it takes the community to help us with our initiative. So we have many community partners that do group mentoring with our students, and there are also community members who come in and do one-to-one mentoring matches with our mentees. So why mentoring? We know that having a mentor is really, really important. And so with a mentor, we know that students are 52% less likely than their peers to skip a day of school. They're 55% more likely to be enrolled in a college. And I think the most interesting part about all of this is the last point down at the bottom, is that 90% of the people who were surveyed said that they had a mentor and they are now interested in coming back and becoming a mentor for someone else. So we know that having a mentor yields tremendous benefits for our students. I'll now turn it over to Maddie Searcy, our mentoring program coordinator.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks so much for having me on. I'm going to take the next couple slides to go over some of the KCPS mentoring programs, and these are all for reference one-to-one relationship programs. So one adult, one child, and so in some cases, one adult and 2 kids, depending on the grade. The Lunch Buddies mentoring program serves our students who are in kindergarten through 5th grade. It is organized so that the mentor comes during the lunch period. So they could say, I'm free from 11 to 11:30, and I would like to volunteer at Hale Click Elementary. So what we would do is find the specific grade that has lunch during that time and match them up with a student during their lunch period. During those meetings, they share lunch together, they get to know one another. Kids love talking about who they are, what they're interested in, and by doing so, they're also learning about their mentor and what they do, and it gives them a feeling of connectedness to not just their school, but also the community around them. So these relationships promote feelings of positivity and personal investment for their student in their school and education and their community. These relationships provide encouragement, friendship, and guidance. And like I said before, they're also matched with their mentee based on time availability in the school site. I was actually got introduced to this program before I was even at KCPS. I was a lunch buddy over at Primitivo Garcia, and it was really exciting. I got to know my mentee. We were for 2 years, and I remember celebrating all the things that she accomplished during our time that we were matched. Like I said, I was matched with my mentee for 2 years, and I really enjoyed that time. And one of the moments I most remember is when she came down during her lunch and told me that she had just recently tested out of her reading assistance course, and we celebrated the next time. I made sure to bring a sweet treat, and it was really great. She recently had to move out of the district, so that relationship had to end, but I definitely remember, I will always remember Destiny, and I hope that she'll always remember me. Moving on to the next one. Our Success Mentors program serves our students in 6th through 9th grades. This is a little different than our Lunch Buddies program in that these mentors meet with their students anytime during the school day based on when they're available. So if the mentor has availability from 9 to 9:30, we make that work with the student's schedule. And it takes cooperation from the teachers, from the administration, and they have the support of all of them because they know that while they are missing valuable class time, they're also getting invaluable experience meeting with their mentor and getting that one-to-one relationship support. During these meetings, they celebrate and get to know the students' strengths and accomplishments, and oftentimes help them discover those, get to know what those students' strengths and accomplishments are. They promote their students' attendance and engagement. We all know that between the grades 6 and 9, the students are going through a lot, and they definitely need any extra help they can get in telling them why school is important and giving them the motivation to attend. So a lot of the times their student might attend that one day or have that extra push to show up on time because they know they're going to see their mentor. During these meetings, we also encourage our mentors in the training we offer to start the conversation about post-secondary options and strategy to meet those goals that they start talking about. Also, they provide a connection to their community, like I mentioned in Lunch Buddies. And last, this is also a little different in that we really strive to match our mentors and our mentees based on shared interests and hobbies that they have. So if a student is really interested in science fiction or art, and we will try to find a mentor who has those similar hobbies and interests so they have a baseline to work from. Moving on, our Career Mentors program is for our students in 10th through 12th grade. This is just like our Success Mentors in that they visit during the school day for 30 minutes, not necessarily only during their lunchtime. We make it work based on the mentor's availability. They are a reliable, unbiased person for the student to depend on. I really want to emphasize that in our training for our mentors, we tell them, the students are already facing enough peer judgment, self-judgment. Our mentors aren't there to do that. They're there to be a person who is there to listen, not to judge, give advice, but not to tell them what to do. They, like the Success Mentors, promote student attendance and engagement, something that's so important at this grade because missing school means missing assignments, missing instruction, missing the time where they could be given information about post-secondary opportunities that are coming to the school, things like that. They also encourage post-secondary planning, goal setting, and active preparation for the future. I mean, we could all remember back when we were in high school and it seems like all of a sudden you're applying for colleges, and that takes some preparation and some conversations that you need to start having early on. And that's what our career mentors are there for. They're not necessarily telling them what career to go into, but they're telling them and giving them some guidance into how to start thinking about that. You don't know what you want to do, but do you know what you don't want to do? Let's go from there. They provide exposure to post-secondary opportunities and pathways. Not all of our career mentors are college graduates, but they are working professionals or retired professionals or someone who's gone through the process of coaching someone who's gone through this. And lastly, they're matched with their mentee based on career field and background, shared hobbies, and school site preference. This necessarily isn't always the case. It is just how we try to guide the match. But like I said, often our students don't know what they want to do, so we find them a mentor who at least has similar interests that they do and go from there. But if we have a student who says, I'm really interested in learning what it takes to become a nurse, we will find them someone who is a professional in the healthcare field or was a professional in the healthcare field who can walk them through that process. Moving on. Next slide. There it is.
All right. Thank you so much for that, Maddie. I'm going to talk a little bit more about some other programs that we offer in partnerships. So the first one is RISE, which stands for Reaching Individual Success in Education. And the aim of the program is to help high school students of color achieve academic success. And we do this in two ways. The first way is by making sure that the students have a RISE mentor at their school, and the RISE mentor helps hold them accountable. They check on, the RISE mentor holds them accountable by checking on their grades, checking their attendance, and even making sure that that they're behaving the correct way that they should in school. And then the second thing that they do, or that we do, is that we provide them with monthly workshops where they come down to Manual Career and Technical Center. And there we devote a lot of time into programming, and some things that we may talk about are things like the financial aid process, applying for college, looking forward to a career that a student might be interested in. And as you can see in the picture, the top picture is Mr. Kilo from Central High School. He came over and did a workshop with our high schoolers, and he talked about growth mindset and even goal setting so that the students have the right mindset as they matriculate through high school. RISE is open to boys, girls, and students who are gender non-binary. In the past, we were called MOCA, which stood for Men of Color, Honor, and Ambition, and the program was only for boys of color, and it started in the 10th grade. With RISE, we've decided to become more inclusive and add 9th graders, as well as students who are gender non-binary or young ladies. The next initiative that I would like to discuss is called the Men and Women of Color Initiative. And our vision for this initiative is that all student participants will succeed in school and beyond through comprehensive wraparound services and mentoring supports that enable them to reach their full potential while acknowledging who they are and raising their self-esteem. In this initiative, we have many partners who help us do this work, and what they do is they push into our schools and they work with our students directly. In the picture below are girls from the program Awesome Ambitions, and this picture was taken exactly last Friday, where the girls went to the Kansas City International Airport, and they were able to look at the new construction of the terminals that are being built there. And we have many partners who help us support this work. We have Urban Rangers, we have PASS, which are the young ladies out of UMKC who mentor over at Lincoln College Preparatory Academy. We also have the Omegas over at Southeast, and they've adopted some young men over there to mentor. We've also got the Kappa League over at Melcher, and they adopt some students over there to mentor, as well as Compass Minerals, and the Neighborhood, which is at Success at Anderson. The next thing that I would like to share with you is a graph or a chart about how mentoring programs impact graduation on time. If you look at the chart, the blue line represents the students who do not have a mentor. The yellow line represents the high school students who do have a mentor. And we're looking at the students who are on track to graduate on time, meaning they'll graduate with their correct cohort of students within 4 years. And so what we notice is that students who do have a mentor are 20% more likely to graduate on time by the time they are seniors in high school. So we know that having a mentor has a great impact, positive impact that is, on the outcome or likelihood of students graduating on time. Let's talk a little bit about becoming a mentor. So all potential mentors have to do several things. The first being a 90-minute training. And these 90-minute trainings are offered 2 times a month virtually. In those trainings, we definitely make sure that participants understand why we are implementing a mentoring initiative. They also understand best practices for mentoring. They also learn about many of the programs that we offer for mentoring. And they learn how to create a supportive environment for our students. The next thing that they do after the training is that they submit a profile. And in this profile, they complete a background check, a reference check, and once all of those things are done, they receive match information from Maddie and the site coordinator. Once that has occurred, all mentors are able to meet with their mentee. And the unique thing that we do is we, in our matching process, we match you with the student, or we match potential mentors with students who may have shared interests or hobbies as them. The next slide talks about, or it shows you the logos of our current mentor partner programs. We have several partner programs that work with our mentees. I talked about a few of them earlier. There's also Elevate, and Elevate is really neat. They're out of Southeast High School. It is a class over at Southeast High School that students can take, but also the really unique part about their program is they allow the students to become mentors, and they mentor at a local elementary school as well. So I think that is really, really neat. And we realize that mentoring is not a one-size-fits-all approach. And that's why we have partner programs to help support the work that we're doing. Our goal as a district is to make sure as many kids as possible are matched with a mentor. We do this by bringing in volunteers and partnering with the community. I'll now open it up for questions.
And Marquise, one thing.
Absolutely. So after that occurs, we encourage our mentors to reach out to the families. And I can speak from personal experience. I had a mentee over at Central. I have a mentee at Central High School, and he beat me to the punch. So as soon as he got home, he started sharing with his mom the stuff that we had talked about on that first day, and the mom actually called me before I could even call her. So parents are definitely parents and families, that is, are definitely integral in this whole process, and they can continue to communicate with the site coordinator and the mentor if they need to.
Yeah, I'd like to get 3 approximate numbers, just ballpark ideas. Is what are the total number of mentors currently in the district? Then how many mentees are currently being served by those mentors? And then lastly, if do you have any students that don't have enough mentors to service them? How many kids are not getting a mentor because we don't have enough?
Okay.
Just ballpark ideas.
Sure. Can you repeat the first question for me?
Yeah, the first one was how many total mentors, actually, adults that we have mentoring kids in the school district, approximately.
So there are about, I want to say about 400.
400.
Adults mentoring our students.
Okay. And then how many mentee students are they serving? Is it 400 1-to-1, or are some of the mentors serving more than one mentee?
So some of our mentors, it's actually really complex. So some of our mentors are 1-to-1. Some of our mentors are also serving in group, in a group mentoring model as well.
Okay.
So it's kind of all over the place.
Okay, and that last one was, are there any students that have requested a mentor because we don't have enough mentors, they aren't getting one right now?
Yes, that has occurred. And those,
how many numbers do you have?
I don't have an exact number of how many students have requested a mentor.
Okay.
I can tell you that there are about 700 students on the waiting list.
Ooh.
Yes.
Is that right? Okay. Good information.
Marquise, did you show that chart with the total number of students?
I did not, because
That might help on the visual.
I did not, because I don't have screen sharing privileges.
Oh, you don't? Okay. Mr. Burton, and for anyone else, there are roughly about a total of 1,800, a little more than 1,800 total students in mentoring programs. That is including KCPS mentoring programs and our partners.
Okay.
Okay.
Good deal. Thank you.
I just wanted to say that I believe Stephen Burton is one of our mentors. So
Yes.
over at Southeast. So
Yeah, I've been doing it for a few years. I really enjoy it. I think the kids get something out of it too. I didn't realize there were that many students that were asking for mentors and we didn't have them. So I'm going to put some extra effort into trying to make some contacts and get some people involved.
yes, thank you.
Absolutely, Ms. Brown. So if you were already trained before the pandemic or even during the pandemic, you do not have to go through training again. And then the second question you said was, how do you switch to another mentor program? All you would need to do is contact Maddie Searcy, and Maddie can help make that switch for you. Especially if it's like going from like a lunch buddy to a success mentor, or even a career mentor, or vice versa. Yes, so mentors have already started entering schools. The returning matches started the first 2 weeks of October, and then the new matches started the last 2 weeks of October. And then anyone who's actively going through training, we go ahead and we match them within about a week so that they can go ahead and get started mentoring as soon as they can.
I will say that if you ever have someone ask how they can support your school or the students, this is a really great way for people to give real support to their community school if they don't know other ways that they can do it. So please Send them to us. We want them.
All right. I think the other thing on here was please share the good news. We want you to follow us on Twitter at KCPS_mentoring. Take a photo and share what's happening with your mentee, and retweet so the world can see the incredible things that you're doing as mentors.
I will make this very, very fast. Thank you so much, Angie, for giving a plug for this. I just want to make sure parents are aware this is one of the very best ways to influence what people who are making legislation about our schools and everything that touches your child. And this is an opportunity for you to, one, see the process and just kind of get an understanding of it and learn a little bit more. And if you're comfortable using your voice, they love parent voices. And so we just want to make sure we're giving you that opportunity to use your voice on behalf of your students and their schools. One other little plug I will give, Angie, is just those that like to follow this sort of information, both at the city, the county, the state, and the federal level. We have an email, an e-newsletter, a legislative e-newsletter that you can sign up for. And all you have to do is send an email to legislative_alerts@kcpublicschools.org, and we'll add you to that list. And that was it.
Yeah, this is Steve Burton. Yeah. I just wanted to. I put my phone contact information and my email address in the chat room, so that if anybody's interested in serving on our DAC STEM and Activity Subcommittee that I chair, please contact me, and we'll put you on the list and get you into one of our meetings. Thank you.